Hello everyone, TinaGale back today with another process video, and today I have a challenge that I'm doing for My Scraps and More on the forum. And so each month we have a theme, word, or topic, and so this month is Love and Friends, and so this layout is for that challenge. So I decided to go with the Friends, and I have a photo that is of me and some of my best friends that I get to scrap with almost every month now, and we always have a lot of fun. And so that is the main challenge. And then my twist on this is I'm adding in two other elements. I want you to use some type of project life cards. I'm going to be using some cards from the True Friends collection that are sized by the 3x4. So if you don't have 3x4 cards, you could use anything, cut it down to that size, or the 4x6 cards, whatever, but some type of card like that, or something that appears to be like a Project Life card. And the other element would be to pull something old from your stash to put on here. And so you'll see some of the embellishments that I pulled from further back into some retired products. Okay, so let's jump into the layout. And so far, like I said, I'm using all of the Fancy Pants True Friends collections from the paper, and then these cards are from the brag cards, and so there's 3x4 and 4x6 cards in there, and so I pulled out a few, and these are the two that I decided on. I didn't have a sketch this time. I know here lately I've always had sketches, but I just kind of had an idea that I wanted a larger background. I wanted it pushed to the right hand side, and then I wanted just some strips of paper to go behind my photo because I just have the single photo. So you'll see here I have a pan that I have pulled out a lot of the embellishments that could possibly go with my layout. So now that I kind of have my paper cut in the design that I want, I'm just seeing what's going to work and what's not going to work, and then putting the rest aside. So I have some of these flowers, and they're from close to my heart, and they're an older retired product, and I have quite a few of them, so I'm trying to get them used up and gone. The cork arrows are some that's not so much old. I had those from a pack that I bought on Black Friday. And you'll notice I had that yellow background. That was some cardstock that came in a kit as well, and I have not used it. And I'm not a person that cares that much for yellow, but I'm really trying to pull it into this layout, and you will see that it does not work. I don't get any of the yellow that I pulled out to use. I end up putting it all back. But I try. I mean, I literally, you'll see me, I really try to get these flowers in. I tried to do the yellow cardstock, but then I pulled this, it's kind of a gold brown, and I just liked it so much better. It went better with the cork, it went better with the elements that are in the photo, the background paper. So, my first switch out of yellow is the cardstock. I went ahead and I'm distressing all of the edges with my Tim Holtz Distress ink. This one is Vintage Photo, so it's a softer brown. I just wanted a really soft feel with all of this. The paper's kind of outdoorsy paper. Everything's kind of a warm color scheme, so I just distressed all of them. So like I said, on the design, my large piece of paper in the back, I just cut a few inches off the top and about an inch off the side, and I'm just butting it up against the right hand side. And then I have these 3 strips of paper that's going to be my background for my photo. And I just did a larger one where it would border around my photo, and then a smaller strip to the top because I want to tuck this card kind of in between there. And then the bolder black strip towards the bottom. So my cards, I ended up, when I was laying them out before, I had them opposite. And then when I got ready to glue them down, I put them down like this. And I have to tell you, when I was going back editing the video, I thought, oh, I like it better the other way. And I actually pulled my layout apart and I switched it. And then by the time I finished editing this video, it's like, no, and I put it back the way it is here. So I did keep it this way. But I just kept the one 3x4 card the same size as the photo, and it's going to put it off to the side. Then I have these Fancy Pants stickers that are from the True Friend collection, and I'm just trying to get some of those in. And you'll notice again, I work in one area, and then you'll see me abandon it and go to something else. And that's always when I'm just not quite sure, I'm not ready to commit, so I'm going to move on instead of just stopping and thinking about it. I used to be really bad about just sitting there for hours thinking about a sticker or a piece of paper or whatever. Now I just move on to another area. I leave it kind of sitting there and I'm just thinking about it, just letting it gel, and I move on to another little area that I can make a quick decision about. Okay, so this 3x4 card, it was a little bit overpowering and everything was starting to compete, and so I did cut it down quite a bit. I just cut it, I'm not even sure what size, but I just cut it as small as I could around the words, and I rounded the corners to kind of help differentiate it from the other elements of the photo and the other card down below, just to make it appear a different size, a different shape, so that the layout would flow better. So you see here I have these yellow flowers and I'm popping them all around trying to fit them in, which they worked with the color scheme. I have the little bit of yellow color that's in the acorns, in the word love on the card. It's in the mushrooms of the paper, but like I said, I'm not much of a yellow person and I was really struggling with it, so I just keep pulling them back off. So then I have the alphabet sticker sheet from Fancy Pants, and it again is from the True Friends collection. And so they have these little tabs and I love using them. So I ended up, I had a strip that was kind of a diagonal strip, but it had this white border, so it was really awkward behind the photo. So I ended up pulling it off and finding that orange tab to kind of stick behind the other tab that said Besties, just to get some more layering, more dimension, more interest up there. And then I start pulling in my little cork arrows. And these paper clips are from Freckled Fawn, and they're really fun to use, but I have a hard time getting them on layouts where I want them. And you notice I kind of stick it around and I play with it, and then it's like, oh heck, I don't know. So I left it there knowing that I was not going to leave it there because it's really a bad design element where it's at. But I needed it to stay on the layout so I didn't forget about it, because if I pushed it off to the side, it had the sticky and it was going to get stuck or forgotten, and I really wanted to get it in on this layout. I'm trying to get the rest of these finished up because this is some of the embellishments that's on my table. That's the ends of my packages that I'm trying to finish. So now I think I've finally gotten rid of all of the yellow flowers and I'm starting to really like the layout now. So I'm sure there are colors that you really don't enjoy, that you don't use. So if you have one that you struggle with getting pulled into your layouts, even when you do try, leave me a comment in the comment section. I really want to hear that someone else does this, because I don't try to use yellow very often, but I do try to get over my dislike or not fondness of yellow and try to use it. And this was one time I really did try to use it, and I wanted to use those flowers, but it didn't happen. Okay, so I just had they're kind of a rusty orange, so they match really well with the card and the elements in the pattern paper. So I just put a few of the small ones around, and then my large one I kept towards the bottom to keep the heaviness and the weight down at the bottom of the layout. And you'll notice that little banner that says Life is Better with Friends. I stuck it down with that flower, and that's much better than up on the photo. And so then I found this little one that says Friends Forever, and so I stuck it across there to help with that little clustering of that embellishment. And then the medium-sized flower I put back towards the top to draw your eye back up, but it's a different shape. It's more round and it's a little bit smaller. So my cluster embellishments are different sizes and different shapes, but yet they all flow together. And so now I must be nearing the end, because I have picked up my enamel dots, and I just put a few around on the card inside the flowers. I dotted the eye with one, and then put some up at the top and then on the acorns. Okay, so now I've decided I've got to figure out where this is going to go. And I ended up kind of bending my photo trying to get it up there, because I was in such a hurry to try to get finished, because I knew the video was getting long. But it worked out over there in that embellishment cluster really well. So here's my finished layout and some close-ups. I hope you enjoyed it, and again, be sure to leave me some comments at the bottom about what color you struggle with scrapping. Thanks for watching, and be sure to visit me on my blog and Facebook and all the other places listed here. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.